one. Okay. Alrighty. Well, now that we've gone over informed consent, I would really like to hear each of you all individually introduce yourselves. So why don't we start with Stephanie?
Okay. Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I am Rebecca's mother.
I am Jackie. I'm Melissa's mother and also Stephanie's wife.
I'm Melissa, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm a sophomore in high school.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Rebecca, and I don't want to be here.
Okay, well, thank you all for introducing yourselves. So why don't we shift a little bit and have each of you, maybe in the same order, talk about why you're here and a little bit about the problem from your perspective. And it would be awesome if you guys can kind of make this a conversation between you guys while all of you really are getting to share your own perspectives.
Well, we're all here, right?
Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah. We're here right now because our family's been having a lot of trouble lately. Just everything. Daughters getting along. Rebecca's behavior has become really challenging to deal with. It's starting to affect my own daughter, Stephanie's behavior as well. And it's, stressing me out, causing tensions in the family. So my wife and I recently found out that Rebecca is using substances, and we also think that she's influencing Stephanie a little bit to use them, which is pretty concerning to me. Nothing I would have expected.
That's not true. You just don't like me. Ever since you married my mom, you just have not liked me because I'm the bad sister. So I just go with it. My mom and I had our own relationship before you came in the picture. And I don't know why we're here, but I don't want to be here. I'm only here because my mom threatened to kick me out. So I just wanted you to know that.
I know, but we're trying our best right now. It's hard blending houses, and I'm really trying to be there for you as much as possible, but I also, have to protect Melissa as well. So she's never acted this way before. We used to have a great relationship, and ever since we kind of merged together, things are just not good, and we don't really know what to do at this point.
Whatever, just because my mom decided to be gay one day and married you doesn't mean that we have to be a family. You just ruined everything.
Rebecca, please don't disrespect your other mother.
It's not my mom.
That's another problem we're having.
Okay, well, Melissa, you have not gotten a chance to say much. I would really love for you to join this conversation with your family and kind of share your perspective about what your mom's and sister is saying.
Well, to be honest, I don't really like hearing them fight and argue. This doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's pretty much like this. It just explodes. And I wish we could just all get along. I do look up to Rebecca. She's like my role model, and I wouldn't want to ruin the relationship that I have with her and with my other mom.
Yeah, okay. I really appreciate you sharing with your family how you feel about all of this. Stephanie, would you mind kind of sharing a little bit more about how you're feeling?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I have always taught her to be a good Catholic girl and a good student. One day she just started having these behavioral issues at school, and she started smoking marijuana. And she's getting into trouble for smoking. And I'm just getting all these calls from school and her counselors.
My mom says that I've changed. It's BS. One day she gets married to her friend, and I didn't even know they liked each other. Do you think I want all my friends to know that I have two moms and a stepsister? No. Smoking is the only thing that helps me get through, and it takes my mind off things. So I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like I've gotten a really good understanding about how each of you guys are feeling, and there's a lot of emotions going on from each perspective. But again, I really do appreciate you taking the time to do that and really sharing. But yeah, so now that the problem has been discussed, and though it may look a little bit different from each person, it really does seem that there's a lot of hurt amongst all the relationships, especially between Stephanie and Rebecca. There seems to be a lot of hurt there. And with that being said, I want all of you guys to imagine that if you were in a good place between the whole family, would you be able to describe what that looks like? Let's start with Jackie.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to even think of being in a good place right now because things are so bad. I think ideally, we like all get along. My stepdaughter and my daughter wouldn't have issues with each other. They wouldn't be doing marijuana. They wouldn't be abusing substances. I want her, I love Rebecca. I want her to be a good example to her younger sister. I don't want Melissa to fall into the mistakes that Rebecca's making. Rebecca should really make herself a good example for her. It's all I ask.
Okay. Okay. How about Melissa? Why don't you chime in there? What do you want to see?
I feel like I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I like I had said earlier, my relationships, I feel like they're very good. I just want to keep spending time with everyone. But it can just be difficult when my mom Jackie doesn't let me see Rebecca or hang out with her or spend any time with her because of her behaviors. And I think for me, I would want all of us to get together and be as close as we were. Yeah.
All righty. Well, Rebecca, why don't you, I know you kind of had a lot to say from your perspective, and you did start with that you didn't want to be here, but let's get a shift of feelings about how you would like things to get better for you and your family.
They would just deal with me for who I am. I mean, I would want for all of us to get along. And I love, I would love to have my relationship back that I did with my mom, but seriously, like, why can they just up and change their whole lives? And then I have to just magically deal with it, but they can't even deal with me. Like, it's not fair.
Wow. Why don't you expand on that to your family a little bit more? Because I hear you, but I think you should expand more so that they can hear you.
Well, like, one day we were all friends and we were all just like cool with each other. And then my mom went from being friends to married to her friend who was a woman.
It's
And
been 5 years, Rebecca.
I
Come
felt
on.
blindsided.
I just wish you could accept it at this point. It's been
I just
5
feel
years.
uncomfortable because they never asked me how I would feel if they got together in a way. Like, they just didn't tell me and they didn't care about my feelings. And along the way, I lost my mom. And I just had to accept
Not
it.
true, Rebecca. That's not true.
Well, I first of all never knew you felt this way, Rebecca.
Well, you never
and
asked.
I know, and I'm
And
sorry.
now I just feel like you never spend time with me anymore. So I
But-
just go with my friends who do have time with me, and you can just be a big happy family with Jackie.
But I do wish that if we did go back, we can have that time where we used to spend time together, watch movies and eat dinner, and just have that relationship like, Jackie and Melissa do. Because in reality, I just really want the best for my girls. That's all I really want.
And are there, you mentioned past times that you and your daughter would get along, but are there times where you guys all get along now?
I would say sometimes when we watch movies or we kind of have just like a TV show night together. But there have been times where Rebecca will get a text message from
Right.
her friends and she'll want to leave, and then the arguing starts again with
Always
our
my
mom.
fault. It's always my fault.
No, your friends are the problem. And I tell you to stop hanging out with them.
I think we've gotten a little off path from establishing a goal, but it seems like the common theme from everyone really is centering around you don't get along, but deep down, you kind of want that to change. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. We love our family.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Stephanie, it sounds like your communication and the relationship with Rebecca has declined a lot since you guys have gotten married. Would you both like to perhaps start with that as a goal? Is building that relationship back?
Yeah, I would say that it's probably true, but not for lack of trying.
Okay. So would you like to see that improvement in the communication and relationship again?
Of course, I would love to. That's all I want, is to improve my relationship with my daughter. I don't know. How does that sound, Rebecca?
I guess.
Okay. So yeah, you stated that before you liked, spending time with each other, and even now you do get to spend time with the whole family, whether that always goes amazing or not. But it sounds like it's important. I'm just wondering, Stephanie, would you be able to set apart, one day a week for just you and Rebecca? Pick something that both of you guys could maybe do outside of the house and spending at least 1 hour together and doing something that kind of requires you guys to communicate and speak to each other?
Yes, I would love to do that.
Sure, if Jackie lets her.
Of course, of course.
I was just going to say, is everyone sound on board with this being on an activity to do outside of our sessions as kind of a little homework activity?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
Okay, great. Well, then we will have you guys focus on that. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you all on your perspective of how that goes at our next session. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.